Hi, this is Emily. It's almost Christmas, and I kept thinking about the alien that I saw and just wondering what it could mean. But I went to go see my mom today at District 4. She said Dad wasn't feeling too good and had a cough, and he lost his taste. He wasn't doing so well. She wasn't sure if he was going to make it to the new year. And I told her that I loved her, and she gave me a box, and she found some way to get me a present for Christmas. I told her I loved her, and I said, take care of yourself. And then a robocop said, halt, who goes there? Who goes there? And my mom told me to run, and I ran, and I ran, and I ran, and I ducked under some bushes, and then some wild birds flew in the air, and the robocop actually shot at the bird, and the blue bird squawked off. And so I escaped the robocop from getting in trouble for being out in curfew. The winter and this has caused so much snow, and no one's allowed to go out during curfew. But I just had to see my mom for Christmas. I mean, what's living in this world that we're already starving with no food in District 42, while District 11 has all the food, and we're on like rations of just rice or beans once a week. And there's no flavors anymore. There's nothing delicious to eat. No fruit, no vegetables. I mean, I haven't had a piece of chicken in forever. And I've lost weight. I look like skeleton and bones, my mom said. My mom lost weight. And I worried about her. Like, what's going to happen if my dad goes to heaven? What's she going to do all alone in her district by herself? I wasn't there for her. My brother John, living behind District 11, he should take my mom to District 11. How could he just leave her like that? And then I saw Airedale, and he picked me up in the cab, and he drove me in the city, and he showed me District 11. There were lights. There were decorations. There was Christmas lights. There's decorations on the tree. And he said that he's been driving around in District 11, and people were like having parties and celebrating, and they had champagne, and they had beluga caviar and fish and salmon and chicken and shrimp and beef and steak and oysters and wine and every kind of cake and pie and cupcake you could imagine for the holidays. And he said he got to have some food because one of the clients said for him to stay there, and in the servants' quarters he was able to have some cheese and some food. He even had a slice of ham. He had a little plastic bag and gave it to me. He said, here. Airedale had saved some of the food and gave it to me. I couldn't believe it. A piece of cheese and a piece of fruit. Oh, there was some grapes. I don't even remember what the taste of grapes were like. And he had a strawberry. Oh, a beautiful red strawberry. Tasted delicious. I told Airedale, thank you so much. And I said, how were his parents? And he said, they weren't doing so great. Everyone is just sick with the cold right now and coughing. And everyone is talking about the alien ship and just the announcements every week on the announcements from the drones. Stand back, stay inside, curfew, no one go outside. Alien object in sky, no one's to communicate with it. And there was some gunshots every night, and we didn't know what it was. He said he thought he saw a light outside of his window, and there's rumors that there was an alien that someone had seen. And so everyone is just in their house on guard, fear of everything that you can imagine. Fear of getting stamped, fear of catching the cold, fear of starving, fear of an alien, fear of just what is the next day going to be. Will our sun make it? How can the sun come back? How can we survive on this planet with no sun? It was just, it was just hard thinking. And Airedale said, don't think about all the problems. Just think about the little things in life that you're grateful for. Grateful to see your mom today, he said. And I said, yes, I was so happy to see her. Her eyes behind her eyes, her soul, I could see that she was worried and she was stressed. But I was happy that I was able to see her today. He said, see, treasure those moments. Treasure those moments when you see your parent, or you see your little furry cat, or your dog, or your brother, or your sister, or that you have a place to sleep, and that you're healthy enough to be able to walk and sleep and be able to eat. Because he said some people were fighting to live right now, and a lot of people didn't make it. So Erdo let me walk outside real quick and just look at the lights blinking. I've always loved the Christmas lights during the holidays. They're so beautiful. There was beautiful white ones. There was beautiful red and green and the blue and the yellow lights blinking. There were so many pretty lights. And I saw Santa, and I saw a snowman, and I saw snowflakes and elves and reindeer. It was just so beautiful. And I was wondering, just what to do? Would I ever have a kid? Would I ever get married? Would I ever have to have a job? All the things in life that you thought you were going to grow up to be. Now those things don't seem like they matter anymore, except for surviving from day to day. And just being happy that you're alive to experience whatever this is that we're experiencing. So Airedale said, come on, we had to get back. He had to get me back because he had a passenger to pick up. So he dropped me off at my house. Went to my house, and I heard my cat, meow, 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 meow. And I took out a little can of sardines. There was 4 sardine fish left. I gave her 1 little sardine. Now, not only this one, I have 3 left. Otherwise, you're on your own to catch any mice you see. My cat looked around as if she wanted me to let her outside to go get a mouse. But just happy that I had something for her. And then I haven't heard Eric in a while except for his coughing. And I took out George earlier, his dog, and he left the key for me. And I made some beans and left it at the door when I knocked. So hopefully he's eating the beans. They say there's lots of protein in there. Keep you strong and healthy. But after a while, beans are just seem like mushed up mush, tasteless mush, almost like porridge, but mashing kind of salty. When you put some salt on it, pretty much the only exotic flavor right now is salt or pepper. That's pretty much it. Can't remember last time I had butter. So Christmas was coming, and I had a piece of cheese. And there's a piece of ham. I can't believe Airedale snuck me a piece of ham. That was so nice. And then Jaffa came by. He's like, come on, let's go to the underground. We're going to be celebrating Christmas tonight with Jaimin and everyone. So we snuck down to the underground, and it was really lively. They were playing music. There was a live jazz trio. They were playing jazz music. Somebody was singing. They were playing. Someone was playing on the piano, and it sounded really good. There were people dancing, and there was hot toddies and eggnogs and Irish cream coffees. Oh, I'd love something warm. I would like an eggnog. And he said, why don't I get something like a hot toddy? And it had like cognac in it. I go, what's cognac? They like somehow getting cognac and whiskey and bourbon. I said, yep. They have an underground system for everything in the underground club. But Jaimin and Jaffa were talking about the alien and saying, you know, this alien ship is here for a reason. And if things go right, and if anyone can contact the alien, maybe we'd find out if we can make it our friend. And I wasn't ready yet to tell Jaimin and Jaffa that I saw the alien, because maybe it was my imagination. Maybe this Truden alien was just some kind of hologram or Maybe I imagined it. Maybe I'm delirious. Maybe I got sick. Maybe I have radiation poisoning. But I didn't want to tell them. I didn't want to ruin Christmas. Maybe they'd think I was contaminated from being too near an alien. I just wanted to enjoy this hot toddy. It was like a tea with this cognac, kind of like a brandy, I guess. And I was sipping it. It was warm down my throat, and it felt good. And they had a fireplace in there, because no one has a heater anymore. Heat could be tracked. And the fireplace wasn't. And people were dancing, and they were singing. And people were playing pool. And there was people smoking cigarettes. They would smoke cigarettes no matter what kind of conditions on earth. I think everyone would smoke cigarettes. I think they were stressed. Cigarettes, beer, and alcohol. And then somebody made pizza. Oh, and they passed the pizza around, little square slices of pizza. It had a little piece of cheese on it, a little tomato sauce, but it was delicious. I was sure happy that I met Jaimin and Java as my treasure. This would remind me of Christmas, that I wasn't alone. But sometimes your friends make Christmas special by being together with people, new friends, different friends. And they asked me, we've got to find a way to get out of District 42 before the stamp. We had to find a way. And otherwise, the people that were getting the stamp were acting really strange. And then they started disappearing. People started disappearing. And we're suspecting that they're terminating people one slowly but slowly. There's the food population. And I said, wait, they can't just terminate us. They just can't do it. And then Jaimin let us in on a secret. He hacked in and he showed us the numbers with the stamps. These people would be rounded up and they were leaving our district and no one has seen them since. And he said they're taking people out and reducing our population in our district. The food source is so scarce that the people are disappearing. People are disappearing in our districts. What's going on? Are they trying to eradicate us? And Jaimin showed us the numbers with all the people that got stamped, all the people that are missing. Even in the underground club, there's people missing that got stamped. And I remember people in my building got stamped and I haven't heard from them. I haven't heard from Julie. I don't know. She got sick and Eric didn't get stamped yet, but he's been coughing, so he just might be sick. And I'm wondering if I can catch it through the walls. So Jaimin showed us in the sheet. Sure enough, our district was losing its population immediately right after the tracking numbers. So what were they doing? They were getting rid of people in our district. And Jaimin found it right there. The plan, I couldn't believe it. My brother signed it. The plan to exterminate the citizens and District 42 to reduce the population. I couldn't believe it. Right there in the fine print. Reduction of population. Right there. And right there in the computer. Written. Ordered by the president. Signed by my brother. A politician. This can't be. This just can't be. It's no. No, I cried out and everyone turned. And they're like, shh. Don't let anyone know. It's their Christmas. Let them enjoy it. We don't know when it could be our last day in District 42. And the drones aren't ready yet. So it was urgent that we fix the drones and figure out a way to get out of District 42 because they're planning on reducing the population in District 42 down to nothing so that the food supply could last longer. This is just awful. And then Jaimin showed us on the computer that it then would go to District 7 and the District 4. That's my mom's district. And how it would go all around the districts, decreasing the population. And the whole goal was to save and conserve the food for District 11. So you mean they're gonna reduce the population in all the districts, starting with District 42, and then moving to each district until District 11 will be the sole surviving district to be able to have all the resources for themselves. This is terrible. They've got to be stopped. They've just got to be stopped. This is not how you rule the world. Who are they to determine who gets to live and who gets to die? How come because they're a president or a politician or live in a posh district and they're wealthy, that they get to have the power to choose who lives or dies because of the riches, and while we are just a human being that's not rich in a district that's a lower income district, that we would just be exterminated. This is just not right. It's just not right. I downed my drink and Jaimin and Jaffa said, we've got to figure a way to get out of District 42. But then you wouldn't want to go to District 7 or District 4. The only district to live was District 11. So I went home that night and I went to bed. I'd have to think of a way. I'd have to think of a way to save myself and my mom.